Hey everybody, it's Professor Parish. Welcome to English 1 and 22, Week 2, Module 2. So you all have made it through the first week of classes. I hope they were good. I hope your summer has been off to a great start. So far, nearly everybody has logged in and done an assignment, so that's awesome. I usually record these lecture videos on the Saturday or Sunday morning when a week is ending. So I'm actually recording this Saturday afternoon. So if you are watching this, then you definitely still have your week 1, module 1 assignments due by Sunday at 11:59. So if you've not completed all 3 of those, make sure that you've done so by Sunday night. What we're going to talk about this week is module 2, which is down here, and it's going to open up for you on June 13th. And so there's 3 assignments. The paper 1 guidelines are still up here, but I want to go through the 3 assignments and talk about the readings for this week just to give you an idea of what we're doing. So I'm in student view right now. You guys can kind of see based on this bar here. So I'm seeing the class like you guys are seeing it. But I'm going to come over here, and in our module 2 guide, that is the first thing I'm going to look at is this module 2 guide. So when I click on it, it tells me my readings for this week. I'm going to put this lecture video right here under the lecture video part, so you guys will see that here soon. And then for readings, you'll kind of notice in our book, I've got our book right here, you'll kind of notice that each of the chapters start with like a couple of pages just as a general overview. There's some terms that are in bold that you probably need to check out, but they're just overviews of how those elements of short story and how those different parts of short story are important in the writing process. So for this week, week 2, you're going to look at setting, tone and style, theme, and symbol. Those are the last 4 elements to look at. The other elements we've looked at last week were character, point of view, and plot. And so the other 2 sections here are genre, which you'll learn what genre is, and then reading long stories and novels. So it's just some helpful tips, different things about reading. And then I put this last part of the reading on here. If you've chosen option 2 or 3 for paper 1, so if you're doing the creative writing portion or the creative writing option, then this part right here might not be very helpful. But if you are looking at options 2 or 3 where you're analyzing a short story, I would check out this section called Writing About a Story. It's really helpful, and I think that it's definitely something to look at if you've chosen that option. It'll give you some tips, ways you can structure your paper. Remember, your outlines, I know you've already turned in your outline probably by this point, but your outlines are always developing. So you can change them, you can alter them. If you read this section and you realize, oh, hey, I can structure my paper a little differently, that's okay. For the thesis and outline assignment in week 1, I just wanted to know that you had an outline. You can alter that however you need to for the paper. So speaking of which, like I said back in week 1, this summer goes by so fast. I know we have 8 weeks, but week 1's already over. So an eighth of the class is already done. And now it's time for week 2. So it's going to go by really quickly, unfortunately. I hate how fast summer goes. But paper 1 is going to be due this coming Sunday, which will be the 20th. It's going to be due, the draft due. Here's the thing about paper 1, and I'll go ahead and just get to that part of that assignment. This is the paper 1 draft uploading thing where it's going to give you the option to upload a file. You need to upload your paper as either a Word document, an RTF, which is rich text file, or a PDF. I don't accept any other formats for a grade because I can't open them, so you need to make sure that your paper is saved in the right format. Definitely turn in your draft. Turn in your paper, no matter if it's finished or not, because if you turn in your paper, you will get a chance to revise it. So I do this with papers 1 through 3. If you turn in a draft, if you turn in something, you're going to get a grade on it, and if you don't like that grade, you're going to get a chance to revise it. So you can see here, your draft is due June 20th by 11:59 p.m. If you submit your draft, you'll get a chance for revision, and those revisions will be due on July 4th. So you're going to get a little bit of time to revise if you need to. It's totally optional. You don't have to, but if you want to revise, you can. But if you do not submit drafts, you're basically just going to get a 0 for the assignment. So it's kind of an all or nothing sort of situation. So turn something in by Sunday night. If you've been having trouble uploading files, let me know. But don't wait until the last minute to let me know, because as you guys know, Father's Day is June 20th, so I'll be doing stuff with my family. You might be doing things with your family, so I don't want you to, on Sunday evening, while I'm still with my family away from my computer, be emailing me with all these troubles and me not be able to get back to you. So my main point is try to get this paper submitted early if you can, and if not, at least make sure you get it in by Sunday. All right? And it's out of 100 points, so it is a big deal to get your paper in on time. The other 2 assignments this week, one is your reading response. So far, the reading responses I've read have been amazing. Y'all have done a great job on those reading responses. I've been very happy with them so far. So I haven't read everybody's, but those of you that I've read and graded so far, mwah, chef's kiss. That is like, you guys have been doing good work. So I've been very happy with those. This reading response is pretty much the same deal. It's just asking some different questions over different elements of short story. So you're still choosing 4 short stories to read. You're just reading from different sections in our textbook. And there's a list of the stories that you have to choose from, and then the questions are in there. As far as a student asked about the introduction and conclusion, I do want you to have an intro and conclusion, but they can be very, very brief. The whole idea is to make it look like a short essay. Just a little introduction saying, hey, for this I chose these stories, and here's what I'm going to talk about, and then conclude with a quick summary. Doesn't have to be anything elaborate, just something to kind of bookend your answers. All right, and then those are due Sunday as well. And then the last thing, so far you guys have been doing really good with the discussion for week 1. I was a little worried that everybody would wait till the last minute to do their discussions, but y'all have done really well, so thank you. Thank you for getting those in early so that everybody can respond to them. But week 2 discussion, you will notice this in our textbook, there are lots of stories. A lot of stories to choose from. And so we obviously don't have time to read all of them, and it's really hard. As an English major, I was always against when professors would assign specific stories, and those were the only ones we could read, because everyone has different tastes, and everyone has different likes and dislikes with literature. And so I try in this class to give you lots of options for reading so that you can read stories you're interested in and not feel like you're forced to read something you don't care about. So for this discussion forum, I would like you to choose a story excuse me, from 2 chapters between 9 and 14. So you're picking 2 stories. They have to be from chapters 9 through 14, which are the chapters we're looking at this week for our readings. With those 2 stories, I want to know, 1, what were they and why did you pick them? 2, with each of those 2 stories, what was the best element of short story used and what was the most least effective? So what was the most effective, least effective element of short story? And then the third question is kind of an overall thing, as we're exiting short story already, which is hard to believe. What element of fiction or short story do you consider, after reviewing our chapters, to be the most important, and why? So is character most important to you? Is plot most important? Is style most important? There's no wrong answer, but I'm always curious what people kind of gravitate towards and why. For me, I'm all about a character-driven story. Now, if it's something that combines really good characters with a really good plot, then it's like perfection. But I can overlook weird plot elements if the characters are engaging and they're ones I can relate to and I really like. I can overlook a weird plot element if the characters make up for it. If a character is flat or boring, then I'm kind of like, the plot can be really cool, but I don't feel invested in the story because I'm not invested in the characters. That's just me, though. Some people are very plot-driven. Some people like style over substance. Some people like, it depends on the point of view. I'm curious what you all say. So that will be interesting in this discussion forum. But yeah, those are our 3 assignments this week. Module 3 should be open by the start of this week, and then I won't go over Module 3 until next weekend. Probably I'll make that video on Saturday. But I will go ahead, as you can see, the short story exam is not going to be until next weekend. So I didn't put it in this week because I knew it was Father's Day. I didn't want to give you guys too much stuff to do. And then I knew that next week y'all have 4th of July, so some of you, it was a double-edged sword. Some of you maybe have that Friday off or something leading up to 4th of July, so maybe you'll have a little extra time that weekend. But with that being said, I'll talk about the exam next week. So if you have questions about it, I will go ahead and tell you the exam is not timed and you can save as you go. But if you decide to work ahead and you do have questions about the exam, just email me. Feel free to shoot me an email and that should be fine. But with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please let me know if you have any questions, but I hope you guys had a great first week of class. Let me know, email me if you have questions, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Bye.